It is 4:20 when I'm recording this, probably 4:21 when you're watching this. But since everybody out there's getting a little, having a little good time, getting the good in, figured I'd come at you guys with a crazy hot take. See what you think. Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. There's another Raid Shadow Legends video. Yes, I am on the free-to-play. We are doing the Road to Hydra here. And my road's looking pretty good right now, I have to say. Now, there's a... I wanted to come in, and I really want to give you guys a hot take today. Because I was thinking about it, sitting here, and this thought hit me in the head, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this true or not? I don't know, but I feel like it is. Because the last 3 months have opened my eyes wide to the free-to-play experience here in Raid. Now, when I first started playing, I was free-to-play. I was free-to-play for, I don't know, probably the first 6 months or so I played this game. And the hard part with this game, hard part with gacha games in general, is once you pop, you can't stop. It's like a Pringles, chip. You just can't stop eating once you start spending. You're like, oh, so much easier, right? And all these things come free. But here's my hot take. Raid's an exceptionally good free-to-play game. I think it's an exceptionally good free-to-play game, and it's very free-to-play friendly. Granted, this is a hot take, I know, but hear me out on this one, okay? Now, first off, you want to unfollow me, unsub me, whatever, you can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to be offended. Are you still not subscribed to my channel? What are you doing? Take a moment, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video that I put out there. It's the easiest way to support my channel, and over half of you aren't doing it. Get at it. That's fine. I know this is a hot take, and sometimes even I don't fully agree with this. And there's a lot of things about this game that really frustrate me, especially as a free-to-play player. But I'm finding that if I can divorce myself from the idea that I have to do everything, right? If I can take the FOMO out of my gameplay, all of a sudden, the game's pretty good. It's pretty good as a free-to-play game. There's a lot of stuff available to you. Now, look, there's more than a few things that are playing into this, right? First, I know what I'm doing. That makes a huge difference, right? All of a sudden, like, I'm not having a lot of, my days of like, what do I do are like, 12-hour days, right? They're like, moments really in the long scheme of thing. I'm not sitting there for a week going, I don't know what to do next. The other thing, I've gotten really good drops. My champions that I've gotten have been pretty solid overall, right? I mean, we're talking about getting Elva right off the jump. That was absolutely massive. I pulled a bunch of good champions lately as well, and I have more than a few solid epics in my vault here that I have that I can use, and I do use from time to time, right? The champions hasn't been a real drawback. So those things definitely play into this, right? Because of all those factors, I'm able to do a lot more advanced stuff than maybe a lot of players out there can, right? I have beaten, well, let's put it this way. I'm doing Ultra Nightmare, right? Clan Boss Ultra Nightmare. I'm 3-keying it every single day, which is giving me access to a lot more shards than I would normally have available to me, which allows me to do things in this game like the current fusion. Being 3 months in, 90-ish days in, right? To be able to do all the stuff that I'm able to do, I think is pretty remarkable. And we're 94 days in. And yes, some of that is my own skill. A lot of that is actually my own experience. Skill or not, understanding how parts of this game work right at the jump makes a huge difference. But the thing that I'm finding that I'm surprised about is that while I do wish I had more energy so I could just run things infinitely, if I kind of just restrict myself to the things I know I can do and try to push a little bit everywhere every day, I'm finding that I'm making a ton of progress, and 2, I'm able to participate in every area of the game. In fact, truth of the matter is, I don't have enough time in my day to do all the things that are available. That's a pretty good free-to-play game, right? I mean, we can talk about Arena, and right now I am in Gold 4 Arena pretty steadily, right on the cusp of Gold 5. That's not really much of an issue for me. And yeah, Arena is a little trash, right? These one-man teams are my bread and butter for sure. But I have been finding that I'm actually able to take down fair amount of enemies that have full teams that are kind of in the same sort of position I am. Excuse me. Being here in Gold 4 and Gold 5, there's plenty of teams that I'm actually having the opportunity to be able to take on and take down. I don't know if any of them are actually here that I could show you guys, but just the fact that I can do that, I think is actually kind of remarkable, right? Actually, I wonder if I could, this might be, they might kill me. I don't know, but I mean, I can try it out. But that's the other thing too. I get so many tokens every day and I definitely don't use them all, right? The arena's never been my favorite part about this game. So that's, you know, partially just the way that works, right? And so I'm not too concerned with that necessarily, but understanding all these things, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this game that I can do. But yeah, look at this. I mean, I'm beating a team that's got a full-fledged squad, right? They're all 5 there. It's not even a concern for me, really. That's a pretty remarkable thing to be able to do at this point in my experience in this game, right? I'm not jumping in like at the craziest, highest ends of anything, but I'm able to compete. And I think that's actually probably one of the best parts about this game. Just the fact that I can stick in there and compete and win in pretty much every area of this game, arena being no exception. I've done some live arena, but to be fair, I focus mostly on my main account for that. So when live arena's live, I'm more on my main account. Look at that. We're in Gold 5, not even an issue. But with live arena is really hard. I'm not going to do it because it's going to take forever, obviously. But look at that. I've got 17 wins. It's not like I can't win some fights here. And so obviously a solid knowledge base goes a long way. But the fact is I can compete in all these areas. Most people are in Gold 4 or Bronze 4 for tag team, and I've been comfortable sitting there. I haven't really felt a need to push, but even now I'm going to end up moving up to Bronze 3 because I'm just doing too good, which is an ironic thing to be saying, but I am. I have enough champions geared up well enough where I'm actually pushing too far into the game. We look at Doom Tower. I've beaten Doom Tower on normal, right? If we look at it, I beat it. Passed it all the way to the top. Done. I've got a fair amount of secret rooms I unlocked. Stage 10, stage 8, stage 5 right there, 4, 3, 2, and 1 all unlocked out. So I'm starting to get some fragments for those epic champions. And I've even pushed a little bit in hard, right? Magma, you know, all up here. I'm a little bit stuck on this Scarab. But other than that, you know, and that really just comes down to, again, just ranking out some more champions. I definitely have the champions to do it. It's just about a matter of getting it done, right? So I think it was actually pretty incredible that we're able to do this kind of stuff this soon. I was able to get the second chest in Hydra already, right? You know, I put up 3 million the last time I did it, and we're only going to improve as we've gotten better champions now, and we have you know, more stuff to work on. Faction Wars. I mean, you know, it's a slow grind, but the thing I'm doing every single day, every single time I come in here is I look at it and I go, can I push one more stage, right? I look at the champions. Did I improve anything? Did I bring anything else in? Maybe I can push one more stage and I'll give it a shot. And if I can't, then I farm it. But because of that, I've been able to kind of grow a little bit every single time. So my argument is, this game's pretty free to play, especially with the Forge. The Forge allows so much better gear available to you, right? I'm able to actually start farming, you know, start forging this 5 and 6 star perception gear, which is really, really account changing, right? Being able to get that kind of stuff. The fact that I can actually farm Dragon hard mode is kind of crazy in and of itself. It's not like the drops are fantastic, but when everything you're getting is 5 and 6 star gear, it makes a huge difference. And we're 90 days into this thing, right? So I guess my point is that this game is way more free-to-play friendly than I ever gave it credit for. You know, the hard part, and this is where this game is hard for free-to-play, I feel like. And by the way, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Like, if you disagree with me, totally fine. I get it. You know, it's a very different game I'm playing from what I'm playing on my main account. But the biggest difference, I think, is the fact that I can't just instantly level stuff up. I can't rank it up. I can't master it instantly. It takes me a lot of time to do those things. And that's the biggest thing, is the time investment, right? I have to really commit and go, okay, who's going to be my next 6 star? That's a big commitment, right? Who's my next 5-star? That's a big commitment. Even just that, right? Putting gear on somebody's like, oh, okay, hope this works, because switching it out is going to cost me a lot of runs that I've already done, right? That silver is so much more valuable. So the area for messing it up, that possibility of like, oh, that's wrong, I'm gonna have to change it out, that window, that flexibility, that's what's gone, in my opinion. Obviously I can't farm my life away. That's really hard to do. So being judicious about what I'm farming, what I'm keeping, going through each piece and making sure I'm evaluating it right to know what to keep, what to roll up, is a lot trickier than it would be otherwise. But I'm shocked. This fusion is actually proving not to be very hard for me to do. Now, I've done, Dragon Tournament. I did the Ice Golem Tournament. Fire Knight and Spider, definitely harder for me. They're slower runs. They're not as high a level, so they definitely take more of a grind. Gonna take a bigger commitment of my gems, of my energy to get that done. And even once I do that, I still have to level up and rank all those champions I'm getting and ascend them and fuse them and do that all over again. But I can see very clearly right now that this is very doable, right? I can definitely, I've got 7 of these, of the rares. I only need to get 5 more of them. That's not going to be crazy hard for me to do. And then I'm going to be able to fuse them into the epic and fuse that into the legendary. This is something it's doable for me. It's going to be work. It's not like the simplest thing in the world, but it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And now the other part, obviously, this fusion's a lot easier than, well, not a lot easier. Back in the day, it used to be a lot easier. But this fusion is definitely easier than some of the recent ones we've had, right? We actually had a chance to get the epic. And if I didn't have the opportunity to get that epic through the summons rush, maybe my feeling would be different. Maybe I'd be like, oh, I can't do it, right? I'm just not going to be able to get it done because, there's no way I would be able to get every single one of these events. I mean, I could do it, but the time commitment, the effort needed, and actually, frankly, the shards involved to do both the champion chase and the summons rush would probably be prohibitive. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do all of them, but it's good to know that these are possibilities out there that, yeah, I could probably get a lot of these things done if I really wanted to. And I think that's a pretty cool spot to be in. I'm actually really enjoying the Forge Pass. I didn't think I would as a free to play, but if I can get everything, I do have the opportunity to get some 5 and 6-star pieces towards the end there, but I'm getting lots of resources throughout this, right? I haven't had to worry about getting glyphs. I even have, those the reforged stones, whatever the heck those things are called, right? I have those as well. So there's definitely, stuff in here that I wasn't expecting. That's pretty solid. Yeah, Chaos Wars, that's right. I have a fair amount of those. Even the Ascension part has actually proved pretty helpful when I do it. And I can only do like stage 6 or 7, but it's more than enough for what I see out there. So here's my hot take. Free-to-play game. It actually is a free-to-play game. Hard part is, of course, once you get used to spending, it's hard not to spend because you see how much easier it is. Like, once that band-aid gets ripped off, that's gonna keep bleeding, right? Don't pick at the scab. If you pick at the scab, the wound will never heal. That's kind of how I feel about spending in this game. But I'm shocked at how much I am able to do, even without that. Often I find, like I am right now, where I have more energy, I'm not actually out of energy. I play pretty close to every day. I'm not religious about it, right? I will skip a day here or there. I will, have more than a few times where I'm sitting there with extra energy. I'm not being mostly as optimal as I have to be. But the fact that I'm still able to do all this stuff, I think speaks to the free-to-play friendliness of this game. And I feel like one of the things that we get hooked in on is these shards and these champions, and we get so freaking many of them. But the truth of the matter is we don't use that many of them, right? I mean, I guess, you could probably talk yourself into saying you use like 50 plus champions. There's like 700 in this game. 50 is a relatively small percentage of that, right? Even if we really talk and really think about what are we actually using, I'm using 5 for Clan Boss, 6 for Hydra, and 4 for Arena. That's it. Chances are most of them are being reused, right, in that same content. and I'm using most of them for all my dungeon runs, for my Doom Tower teams. I don't really need much more than 5 or 6 champions on my account. I've done all of this primarily with the same 5 or 6 champions, right? I have, I think, 7 champions that are ranked up. I have 8 champions that are level 60, right? I've got obviously my Valerie, which is ridiculous. My Valerie, my Venom Mage, and my what's her name? Deliana, right? I've got those 3. Really, I'm only using Rhonda, Elva, Deacon, Jareg, and Venom Mage. I use those 5 pretty much everywhere. Occasionally I'll bring in Deliana. Occasionally I'll bring in Jizzo. I use Valerie for clan boss, but like I don't need that many champions, right? And as we rank other champions up, right? Like when I get my Royal Guard, well, he'll go into one of those teams. When I get my Molly, when I get my Black Knight, maybe my Rosin, maybe. But really, I'm probably still gonna stick with that same main 5. It's still probably gonna be the main 5 that I use in most places. Maybe with a swap here or there, but it's like, it's not, I don't need that many champions. Even though I have other options on my account, even right now, right? I have lots of champions that I would go, oh, this one could be fun, but I don't need them. It's crazy to me. So like for me, I'm surprised at how free-to-play friendly this game is, because I think we talk about Larian being greedy and, you know, it's such a pay-to-win kind of game. But, you know, really it's a PvE game in the majority of it, right? We have live arena, we have 3v3, we have classic arena. All those are the PvP portions. That's the only PvP portions in this game. I can still get my Mithrala fragments, right? That's not pay to win. I can just do that doing the very bottom chest in Hydra. I can, you know, get whatever blessings I can get my shards if I want to, if that's an area I want to focus on. I can do the ascension if that's an area I want to focus on, but I don't want to focus on those currently with my squad, and I don't need to do any of the content that I'm currently doing. I just don't. And so, you know, I feel like there's a lot of I feel like this game's better than we give it credit for sometimes. Just kind of something to, you know, keep in mind. It was like a thought that occurred to me, and I thought, hey, you know what? This'll offend everybody out there. This'll piss off the group, the world out there. So why not do a video on it and talk about it? Now look here, I understand there's a lot of things about this game that I don't like as well. There's definitely a lot of greediness on Plarium's part, and definitely a lot of pay to win aspects in this. But because the game's so PvE oriented anyway, it's very much, it's kind of like a game of golf. If you want to compete against the other people you're playing with, that's fine. You can do that. You're gonna get upset from time to time when you feel like you're falling behind. And if they have that big Bertha driver that's, you know, all graphite, and you're still playing with, you know, your grandfather's clubs made out of steel, yeah, you're gonna feel pretty left behind. But if you take the game like it's kind of designed to be, which is you're competing against yourself, it doesn't matter what kind of clubs you're playing with. You're just competing against yourself, trying to do better than you did the day before. And I think if you keep this game into that mode and don't get into that FOMO or that, you know, keeping up with the Joneses type of mentality, it's a pretty darn good free-to-play game. You know, I've booked Elva, I've booked Rhonda, both of them fully, and they're both legendary champions. And I have more books waiting. I've booked several champions. So even the part that isn't great, right? Like if I look at my champions here, right? Elva, Rhonda, both are fully booked. I've got Venom Mage, Jareg, Deacon, all fully booked. Ugo, fully booked. And I have more books waiting to go here too. It's not as bad as we would have it seem. Is there as many resources as we want? No, absolutely not. I've still got 3 other legendaries that don't have any books. So obviously it's gonna be a while before I get that. The point is though, that it is more friendly, I think, than we give it credit for. Anyway, it's a hot take. I don't do many hot takes, so we're gonna kind of test this one out, see what you guys think. But I think this is why people enjoy this game, because it is, you don't have to spend anything to have a good time with it. And you know, the fact that I've been enjoying this even more than my main account, more importantly, playing my free-to-play has made my main account more fun to play as well. That's something I didn't expect to have happen. So take that for what it is. But I really like this game. I'm shocked at how friendly, free-to-play friendly it is. I always felt like, oh, I'm going to be running out of resources and this is going to, you know, really get my goat and grate at me. But fact of the matter is, I'm finding that there's so much to do in here and so many things like Faction Wars and Doom Tower that bring their own resources, right? Where I don't need to buy more, even all the arena stuff where they've got their own tokens and I never really feel like I need to get more. There's more than enough to do. And I don't really feel that grind of, ooh, I need these. Unless I'm competing for a tournament or an event or something like that and I'm getting to that time crunch area, right? That's the only time I ever really feel like that. Obviously, I wish I could just let it grind all day, get all my masteries done in a day, rank everybody up real fast. But, you know, taking into account that there's no game that's going to be like that, pretty friendly, I think. Anyway, hot take. Let me know what you guys think down below. You want to cancel me? I get it. You want to quit on me? I get it. I understand. Let the rage flow. This is the only time I'm going to let it, guys. If you want to make a really mean comment down below, have at you. This is the time to do it. Call me a big whale. Call me out of touch. Do whatever you want. This is the time. I'll take it. I'll let this one go. Normally, I'd say everybody has to be PC, and well, you still have to be PC to some degree. But you know, if you wanna make some attacks about my my terrible take, it's the time to do it. I'll let it go on this video. Guys, I appreciate you for sticking around and watching. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious though. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think I'm wrong? Am I totally off my knocker here? Possible. Definitely, there's probably more free-to-play friendly games than this one. I don't think this one, I still feel like it's pretty free-to-play friendly. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I've had great luck on this account. I don't know. But let me know down below. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.